Melinda Gates once said, "A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. But the search to find that voice can be remarkably difficult." Since time immemorial, women have been perceived to be the caretaker of the family. She belonged in the kitchen. She cooked and cleaned, she raised her children, she nursed the elderly of the house and catered to the needs of her husband. While the husband, being the breadwinner of the family, got to occupy the seat at the head of the table. It took years for the society to accept that women can step out of the four walls of her house and have a career of her own, that she can earn a living while taking care of the family. Now, we have come a long way from where we started in terms of education, employment, political participation, and legislation. The modern woman today is fighting to be recognized, to be heard, to not be fat-shamed, to be able to wear what she pleases, to do as she likes, to exercise the same rights that a man in the society gets to exercise. To put it precisely, the modern millennial woman is fighting for cerebral equality. Now, we are not fully there yet, but slowly and steadily, we are getting there. Have you ever looked at your mother or maybe your aunt who is a homemaker? Now, everybody will tell you the kind of sacrifices that they have had to make in order to take care of the family. Some of it by choice, while some were forced upon them. But that is not what I'm talking about. Do you know what else they did? They raised us, the modern millennial woman, who will stop at nothing to get what she wants. The picture you see here, this lady is my mother, a homemaker. She taught me to cook, clean, do my own laundry, and is now after my life to learn how to drive a car. She did not teach me all of these so that I can grow up and do these for my future husband. But she taught me all of these because these are essential survival skills. She also pushed me to pursue my own career and become financially independent because she believes that a modern woman must know how to balance both her family and her work. Remember, I'm talking about a homemaker, and she ensured that her daughter grows up to learn how to balance both family and work. I studied science in my graduation. Then I pursued journalism in my post-graduation. And I went on to work as a journalist, and I'm currently working as an editor and a pricing analyst in a company. How did I do all of this? I followed my dreams, and my mother supported me. I believe we are all victims of the choices that we exercise, and some of these choices can be really intimidating for a modern woman who is trying to balance both worlds. Because as Khaled Hosseini said, like the needle of a compass that points north, a man's accusing finger always finds a woman. Always. When I was studying journalism, we all had to work on a dissertation, and the topic of my dissertation was sex workers and their children. So I had the opportunity to interact with sex workers, and I was overwhelmed by the kind of determination and courage that these women possessed, and the hard work and sacrifices that they were making in order to give their children a better life. I remember interacting with a lady who was then in her early to mid-30s, and she told me how at a very young age she was absorbed into the trade without even realizing it. And she did try to escape later on, but you know, it's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. So she was there. She was stuck. Few years down the line, she had a child. She sent her child back home to her village, and she continued with the trade. The money she earned, she would send it back home so that her child can grow up and have a better future. Another time, I came across a child in an orphanage. It was a toddler. And he was crying with his arms outstretched and was looking at a woman who was standing far off, and that seemed to be the mother of the child. The child was behind the bars of a giant iron grate. Now, at first glance, I thought, how unkind and rude is that? Why wouldn't that lady come near the child? But later on, I got to hear that this lady was a sex worker. And while she knew that she couldn't escape her fate, she found an opportunity to take her child out and put the child in an orphanage so that there might be a scope that this child gets adopted and has a better future. I cannot even imagine the pain that these women and these mothers experienced while making the sacrifices that they made. But that is not what I see. I see them as harbingers of social change. The sacrifices they made acted as a tailwind for the next generation. We would be stuck in the doldrums had they not been there. They made the way for us. Back in school, I had a teacher who once told me, don't be satisfied with what you have. If you become satisfied, you're going to stop growing. That idea struck me and has stayed with me ever since. I go to bed each night thankful for what I have, but I always want more. My mother jokingly says she has a perpetually unsatisfied daughter. But to tell you the truth, that is what keeps me going. When I feel low, when I feel like giving up, I think of all these women and the path that they have created for us. So if I or any other woman like me gives up today, we would be letting these women down. Another time, another teacher told me, do not cry. It shows your weakness. And many would disagree and say that, you shouldn't bottle up your emotions. But looking back, I think that was one of the most valuable advices anybody has given me. I have worked as a journalist for 4 years now, and I have had the opportunity to interact with people from various walks of life. And the one thing that I can say with confidence is that in the professional world, it's filled with cutthroat competition. And your one moment of weakness can make you lose the years of hard work that you have put in to get where you are. And is it worth it? Now come to think of it, these women who pushed us to pursue our dreams, did they have as much of a space or a platform to voice their opinions in their times when they felt like? Because I know that today if I raise my voice against a wrongdoing, I will find support. But did they? Because the kind of problems we face today at work or in a public place or even in our own homes have always been there. Because ours is a traditional patriarchal society. And that makes me realize all the more how these women silently made the way for us and helped us to pursue our dreams and put us where we are today. I'm not a big believer in the celebration of a Teacher's Day or a Mother's Day, because I don't believe that these women should be celebrated for just one day out of a total of 365 days. And that is why I have chosen the title Matrirupena Sansthita, the mantra we say while worshipping Goddess Durga, the personification of the Universal Mother, the embodiment of power and intelligence. She who shields her child against all odds and ensures that the child grows up and has a better future. And that is what mothers and teachers have been doing for centuries silently, without anyone ever acknowledging the role that they have been playing. So I'm taking this opportunity today and using this platform to say on behalf of all daughters, thank you mothers, and thank you teachers for being who you are and for making us who we are. Thank you.